Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Trigg in Las Vegas, Chris Camozzi in Denver. I'm assuming.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and go through the process. You're now co-main event on this fight, fighting Ronald Souza, Jacare. This is like your third opponent change for this fight.
Yeah. He makes my third opponent.
I know in the very beginning you were looking for left-handed guys. So you and I talked about me coming up to Denver to start training. I talked to Mark a little bit. He's like, "Yeah." I didn't hear anything from Mark for about a week. I was like, "Dude, am I coming up or not?" He's like, "Opponent change." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then I got on the internet about a week after that, and there was another opponent change. Take me through the process of your training camp trying to figure out these opponent changes.
Well, originally when I was supposed to fight Cesar Mutante, I think is what his name is.
Yeah.
That's
It's as good as I can get
I'm
it too,
probably,
so don't worry about it.
yeah. I'm gonna butcher some names here probably. So, um, it was probably I don't know 3 days after I accepted that fight, he got hurt. They gave me Rafael Natal, a
Okay.
couple weeks of training, and then now we're at Jacare. Um, but as far as fighting Mutante, I didn't really start training anything specific yet because the opponent switched so fast to Natal, um, and that was over the weekend that I found out about the fight. So I wasn't in the gym or anything. So Monday comes
Okay.
around, we train a little bit. Next day, switched up.
Again. Okay.
But Natal is a good ground guy, real good grappler. As you know, Jacare is too. So the game plan is not going to change a whole lot, but Jacare is still better on the feet and better on the ground. So, I was training to totally beat Natal, not just hang with him. So, fighting a bigger, better Natal, I just keep going forward with the game plan we had.
Now you're on like a four-fight win streak. You lost one fight. You won two fights before that. Lost a fight, and then won like six or seven before that. You're on a you have this pattern of just kicking everybody's ass for a while and maybe having one hiccup and then coming back and beating guys up again. Is this opponent change system that they did to you, is that going to affect you as far as how your overall record's going to end up showing up here at the end of it? Or is Jacare just going to be another, like you said, just a bigger, more athletic Natal? Is that all it really is? Or is there a lot more pressure and what have you from getting shifted so quickly so often?
I feel less pressure, really. Nobody expects me to win this fight. I feel great about it. And before I was fighting Natal, I'm ranked higher than him. Everything, that on paper, that's a fight I'm supposed to win, and so
Right.
that puts a little bit more pressure on you. This fight, I get to go in there, and I'm fighting a guy higher ranked than me. I got nothing to lose and everything to gain off this fight. So, as far as drag you down, he tries to run you off your feet. So, for me, that plays in fine. I fought a lot of wrestlers, and he's gonna have to deal with me trying to knee him in the face if he does try to explode in like that. Um, but yeah, I'm looking to test his chin. It's a little bit unknown, and that's a big deal for somebody who's had so many fights. That he looks like he takes shots fine. So I think I'm just gonna have to put the pressure on him and really beat him down.
How's the travel going to affect you? It's Monday right now, and when is fight week? It's this Saturday. So when you like
Next week,
next week, excuse like when are you taking off, and what's the travel going to do to you?
I'll take off Monday.
Okay.
Um, some guys like to get out there real early. Training here in Denver, I like to stay at the altitude as much as I can. The travel I'm used to, I fought in Australia, Canada. I fought in Brazil in October.
Oh, that's
The
right.
travel wasn't bad at all. The time change is only 2 hours, so it's not a real like jet lag like Europe for you.
Yeah. Shit, it was horrible.
When I went to Australia, I got jet lagged.
Going up, I just got back from Wales. For you guys at home that don't know, I was up there covering Cage Warriors, and going there was not a problem. It's coming home is when I get caught. Japan, going there is where the problem is. Coming home doesn't bother me at all. So it kind of depends on which way I'm going on the equator. And with Brazil, it seems like it's so far away because it's South America, but it's only 2 hours from mountain. I'm on the West Coast. It's only an hour difference for me. So from a fighting standpoint, there's no reason to go down there 12 days early. You only need to get down there a day before. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel fine. The day of traveling is really long, but I'm used to it. It's just part of the game, something you got to do, and it won't be a big deal. I'll get a workout in, get my blood flowing, and then I'll sleep good and get back on schedule when I get there.
Who's coming with you to corner you for this fight?
For my corners, this fight I got Mark Montoya, who
Yep.
a teammate of mine, Chase Hackett, and then Diego Marias. He's a He's
Oh,
a jiu-jitsu black belt
yeah.
out of Rio. You know, yeah, you know
Yeah, I know
Diego
Diego
too.
too. Yeah, Diego spoke maybe 7 words to me in 6 weeks. He doesn't talk at all. It was really random.
He,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a quiet guy, but once you get to know him, he's a good dude, and he'll be good to have in my corner and good to train with while I'm there.
Well, not only that, but too, it's Rio. He's from there, so he knows what's going on. He knows what's going around. Because one of the issues that UFC always says, security is a problem down there. Brazil's a great country, but Rio is a really, really bad city. So they're always, stay out of the alleyways, don't go out at night, have this problem. When you have Diego with you, it's different because he's from the town, he speaks the language, and he knows the signs long before anybody does of what's going to happen, what's going on. How much of a help is that having a guy like that when you go on to a city like this where there is a dangerous rate that you got to worry about security and worry about your safety? Is there a big benefit to having Diego come with you?
Yeah, there is. This one's actually not in Rio though. This is in Jaraguá do Sul. I probably butchered that too. It's in Santa
Oh, it's on
Catarina.
the other side. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, he speaks Portuguese. He has some friends there. I think he's been there before, so it's a big help. The language barrier. As far as getting food and everything, I can rely on him to do a lot of that.
Hmm.
And speak to people for me, so we won't have as much of a problem as we did the first time.
Yeah, or like if you go to Japan or you're in Singapore, a lot of the places, if you're in Tokyo, it's okay. Everyone speaks English. Hong Kong, Singapore, everyone speaks English. You get in these other small little communities, nobody speaks English. You're kind of screwed. Like, what do you do without unless you have a cornerman that speaks the language or somebody with you that speaks the language, help translate. Being in Rio is difficult. Trying to get their food down there is amazing. The food in Brazil is
Yeah.
incredible. I keep saying Rio, excuse me, but the food in Brazil is absolutely amazing. But getting the right food for you to cut your weight might be a little bit more difficult. What kind of foods do you eat the week of when you got to get ready to make weight?
Lots of vegetables and stuff. Real light things. I'll stick to eggs and stuff like that instead of meat. For protein because meat sits real heavy. Or, probably about Wednesday. I might eat chicken up until about Wednesday, and then after that I cut it down. But I didn't have too much of a problem finding food when I was in Rio, and my weight cut went real well. So I'm hoping it's the same here down further south. And like I said, we can rely on Diego to hopefully help us with that. But yeah, I know what you mean. I've traveled some places and getting food was horrible. In Australia, we had a tough time.
Yeah.
Even though everybody speaks English, they just don't eat the same way we do. And ordering a salad there was like blasphemy.
I know they're like it's funny because you see all those commercials. You might be too young to remember, but they used to have these Foster's beer commercials with like this
Yeah.
big like 96-ounce steak, and it'd be like one little small sprig of parsley. And it was like salad. Australian for salad is that sprig of parsley, and then you go Foster's Australian for beer, and I thought it was a joke. So I talked to one of my former broadcast partners, Michael Chavello, who's from Australia. He's like,
Yeah.
no, that's pretty much the way it is. Like we don't eat vegetables. Like, but how the hell do you survive? Like, how are your athletes so good? You don't eat right. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But somehow they pull it off. But like I said, Brazil's totally different. It's a great country when it comes to food and culture and beauty and seeing stuff run around. It's just some cities are a little bit more dangerous than others.
Yeah, but their food is amazing there. I'm looking forward to it. That's one thing I missed since my last fight. Between the acai and coconut waters
Yeah.
and everything. I'm looking forward to after the fight for sure.
Well, do me a favor. I really appreciate you coming out here, Chris. I know it's a busy day for you. Just tell Mark and Diego I said hey, and my offer still stands. Anytime you need a left-handed guy or a wrestler to come up, give me a holler. I love Denver, and I definitely would love to come back up there and train with you for sure.
Definitely, yeah. We'd love to have you down.
All right, Chris, you take care, and thanks for coming on.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a good one.